Welcome to Biztech's Enterprise Technology Show, where we feature tech companies that are innovating in the large enterprise space. We also talk about burning technology questions and topics that are top of mind for companies. Now, our featured company today is Proxyclick, a cloud-based software visitor and employee management system that manages visitors and employees in your office. Now, here to tell us more is Gregory Blondeau, Proxyclick's founder and CEO, as well as the VP for Asia, Christina Taub. Welcome to the show, Gregory and Christina.
Thank you for having us.
Now, could you start by giving us an overview, Gregory, of what Proxyclick does and how you started the business?
Yes, of course. I've always been fascinated by technology and by how technology can simplify people's lives. And by people, in my case, I'm a B2B person. I love working with businesses and solving enterprise problems. So I really realized 10 years ago, that there was a problem at the front desk of buildings, single tenant offices, factories, warehouses. Managing that process, that flow of people has always been a challenge. It's a lot done on paper, it's phone calls, it's inefficient, it's not, the security is not high enough. And so I felt that problem needed to be solved. So we started by releasing a check-in system for visitors, are invited by employees. They check in at the front desk, or they answer questions in advance on their phone before checking in. And then they receive access that they can use with on their phone to enter buildings. And of course, what happened in the last 18 months with the global crisis is that employees were also asked to answer questions before coming to the office. Do you have a desk? Is the occupancy maximum reached? Is the office open today? And so we expanded our offering to also employee check-in. So now companies around the globe use our system, thousands of them, in the US, in Europe, and of course in Asia, where we also actively work.
And what key sectors have you seen the greatest adoption for your solutions outside of Asia?
I would say Europe and in the US are very big, strong market for us. But Asia is as important. There is no specific vertical, there is no specific industry which needs a visitor management more than another. This is really checking in people, giving access to people, visitors, employees, and contractors has become something very strategic that all organizations, all enterprises, all companies need to look at very seriously.
Now, to help us understand how your products are used, perhaps, Christina, you could walk us through some examples of how customers use your products and services.
Great request. All right, so one of our customers here in Singapore, actually doing a pilot in 2019, had 250,000 visitors come through their doors. Now, this is a high security organization where if one of those visitors came in and saw the wrong thing in the wrong place, could have massive ramifications across the whole organization. So having manual human-led processes leaves so much error out there. Whereas if it's automated with a visitor management solution, such as Proxyclick provides, it really streamlines things. So when you look at some of the industries where we're seeing a lot of success, it's financial services organizations, which are both very large scale and highly secure and have zero tolerance for risk. Mm-hmm. As well as companies which are managing very complex hybrid sites. So we have a food production entity in who's using us in the region, and if somebody comes on site who is ill, they would have to throw away all of their food on the production lines, which are absolutely massive losses for them, both in terms of reputation as well as money. So having something secure that manages how people come in and out of their processes, really key and very key here in this region in particular.
So in other words, your solutions help companies, in fact, as you just pointed out, save money and become more efficient by using your processes.
Absolutely.
Yes, of course. So it's saving money. It's also increasing security, and so security security events sometimes are difficult to measure and impact. You know there's sometimes lives that are at stake, and there are risks to the company when R&D secrets are being traded outside of regions where they shouldn't be traded. So there is a lot around protecting people, protecting data, protecting offices, protecting factories, and making sure that the supply chains, in case of production and manufacturing, is run efficiently and securely.
Now, one of the things that we need to ask you and you need to talk about is privacy issues. You are collecting a lot of data. How do you handle that across different markets with the different regulatory frameworks?
That's a very good question. And I can tell you, as a global company with headquarters in Belgium, Europe, GDPR is very much at the and data privacy is very much at the center of our priorities. So we have a lot of features that are built around protecting data deletion, showing limited data to some people and full data to others. So we do invest a lot around data privacy. We do have an internal data privacy expert. We have multiple people in the compliance team. So yes, that's a key priority for us.
Brian, if you think about the alternative, which is for people to enter their names, sometimes on a piece of paper, which anyone can come and clip a photo of, I'm sure you've seen that in buildings.
Yes.
Something which is encrypted, digital, and subject to regulatory scrutiny is always going to be preferable. So we're actually kind of championed as the data privacy visitor solution. We're pretty proud of that.
Now, in case of a business like yours, essentially now it's a little bit of a gold rush period as countries basically start to open, and also digital transformation has kind of impacted your business in a positive way. Tell us a little bit on what sort of growth numbers you've experienced in the last 18 months.
Yes, you're right, it's a gold rush, but what changed is that the topic became strategic. It wasn't strategic before COVID to give access or not to give access to people. It was operations, it was facility management, it was a local, regional, or national decision. Now, suddenly, thanks to COVID, or because of COVID, depending on how you look at it, the topic has become highly strategic. How do we handle all those flows of people entering all of our places around the world, around Asia? How do we authorize access in production sites, in factories, in offices? And so, yes, it's a gold rush, but as the topic has become strategic, now the decision-making has become much more organized, much more structured. So we're talking to, global headquarters IT team that are looking at the overall landscape of solutions they have. And so one of them is access. So for us, it's been crazy, the interest we had from the mid-market and small business segment. And so that's something very visible. What's happening as well is the strategic aspect, which means we're talking to so many large organizations, and we are embedded into their long decision-making processes.
And so, Gregory, so here's the big change, right? It's strategic. So if I'm a CIO now, Now this is a CIO conversation. This is no longer an IT manager. Access is no longer an IT manager conversation.
Yes.
So why would I pick your product compared to your competitors? What is your secret sauce?
So maybe before answering that, one important aspect about the CIO and about what's happening is that historically, digital security, IT security has always been a central role, so managed by the CIO, and physical security has been a local role. But as physical security is becoming digital, it is also becoming centralized in organization. But you'd be surprised how few organizations have centralized physical security. Most of them still have that decided at local level. And so to answer your question, a local or regional physical security decision maker would buy our solution because of operational benefits that they can generate, like better allocation of the Wi-Fi codes to my visitors, or faster turnaround of people at the front desk, or the emergency list. People that are currently in the building are always available, or managing the maximum occupancy. While a global directors would look at data infrastructure, information security, customer success, support, deployment that we are providing, which is unique in the industry, the support we provide to people when deploying the solution, data privacy, capability to serve customers on multiple time zones, languages that we provide. We have more than 30 or 40 languages available in the system. So these are the differentiators that help us win. And I would like to add the last one. We have the best integration platform with access control vendors available on the market.
Now, Christina, Proxyclick has been in Asia for not a very long time. Tell us a little bit about your start in Asia and which are your key markets right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So we were brought into Asia by our customers. So we do work with all these multinational organizations, and for us to provide the top tier support that we really believe in, we've actually already had a support base in Asia for a number of years. One of those big things, and you'll be amazed, is we actually have an average response time for our support team of like 5 to 10 minutes, even in Asia, even before we officially open Asia. And that's really kind of the at the heart of Proxyclick, where we really believe in being people first. So this extension in Asia really was pushed to support those customers and the rollout of these global names in here. Now, as we've come out here, what we've realized is we're the only cloud-based visitor management solution with a presence on all 3 core continents, that I know of at least. So when you talk with these large global names that we work with, such as Ernst & Young, they want to partner with a company that they know is going to be able to serve not just their offices in London and New York, but their offices in Mumbai, that they're going to understand Japanese characters and how to work with their offices in Japan, that they're going to understand Chinese data privacy rules and the firewall rules and work with their offices in Shanghai. So that's really been where our journey has taken us. It's been quite organic from the customers. It's been a lot of fun.
And what have been the challenges of expanding in Asia?
Yeah, so there's always the late nights, the time zones. I'm sure you're intimately aware of that. The calls, with the development team at midnight and so on and so forth. There have been some really interesting ones. For example, the ordering of names in China, for example, or how many characters is the correct number of characters to use to recognize someone who's a returning visitor or a member of staff. So some of these cultural changes, some of the informal language used in Europe has been a little bit different from some of the norms in Asia, and it's been really good to watch the journey of the team adapt and integrate these new norms.
And Christina, what's the strategy for 2021, 2022 in Asia? Because as we were alluding to earlier, it's a gold rush for you guys right now. You've got a solution that's the right fit for the right time, for the right market. What are your plans moving forward?
Great question. So, as you know, Asia is extraordinarily regional in terms of purchasing. So we're taking a two-prong approach. One is really focusing on the large enterprises which are able to purchase across multiple geographies from a central strategic position. And then the second is working with our partner networks. We've got a bunch of resellers who are on the ground in key markets for us throughout Asia, who are able to not only resell us, but also help to ensure the satisfaction of our customers after they've purchased the products.
Now, Gregory, I want to ask you, what's your advice for business leaders before they embark on a wide-scale deployment for solutions like yours?
I would say first I need to demystify the complexity of deploying a solution like ours. So it's of course we need to integrate with, and we do integrate with existing systems, but we have deployed hundreds, thousands even of sites across the globe, everything remotely. With our team providing the support. So we have built those best practice on how to support the organization. So that's the first thing, is that no need, it's not like deploying an ERP system, which has a very high level of complexity. The complexity is lower than much lower than that. So that would be the main thing I would say. Give it a go, try the solution. You can even sign up on the website to test the solution, test it on a smaller scale, and then deploy in multiple locations, and we'll be there with you to support that process.
Now, Gregory and Christina, it's been a fascinating conversation, but could each of you leave us with some final thoughts before we end this conversation?
When anyone who has an idea to improve how things are happening in the technology world or in the world in general, to just try to find a solution, propose a solution, and go for it. Leave your job, get started, start a business, solve solution. And when you do that, be resilient. You will not find a solution in day one. Go ahead and you will be rewarded along the way. It's a fantastic adventure to create value for enterprise and large organizations with a initially simple solution that you're thinking of when you get started.
Christina and Gregory, thank you very much for taking your time to come on the show.
It's been great. Thank you for thinking of us. We've been honored to discuss with you, Brian, and we'd love to stay in touch. So those interested about Proxyclick, visit us on the website, and you'll be connected to our team to be able to exchange and learn about what we do and how we can help you process your people at the front desk.
Now, I'm Brian Fernandez, and we've been speaking to Gregory Blondeau, the Proxyclick founder and CEO, as well as Christina Tubb, its VP for Asia, on Biztech's Enterprise Technology Show. This video will be on our Facebook and LinkedIn sites, as well as our website, www.biztech.asia. Please subscribe and like our various platforms. Thank you very much for tuning in.